they've come on board to be a game day sponsor. PepsiCo/Gatorade will be a sponsor as well. You'll see their stuff flashed all over the place with our players obviously drinking Gatorade and product in the concessions of Pepsi. We're very close with Yazoo. It's not completely official yet, but we're very close with Yazoo to get them on board, whether it's product donation or it's a mix of a couple of different things. They will be there for your drinking pleasure. Thorny Rose, Courtney is actually where she was here. Thorny Rose will be there for the games. We'll have, this is pretty exciting, we're going to have VIP tents, so you can buy tickets for that and enjoy some shade during the summer months, enjoy some wine and possibly some fans to kind of pull you off a little bit. Eric loves shade. And then there's more to come. There's a lot that we are in talks with right now, but it probably just is not the best to disclose them publicly until we get pen to paper. But exciting stuff going on right now, exciting sponsors that we've been in discussion with. Admiral is, some of y'all know, is going to be our kit providers. We actually have, we got the next slide here.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. Here is a digital look of what we're going to be wearing this coming season. But better yet, why don't we go ahead and just bring out Who wants to see a picture on the wall as compared to the actual real thing itself?
Oh, wow.
No homo, but I love Wade.
We will not be taking bids for dates with these gentlemen. Yes, okay. So we'll have Wade up here first.
Here, let's clear it so everyone can.
So these will be the home kits. We went with the yellow and white. If you look at the city of Nashville's flag, there is actually a yellow and white stripe at the end of it. We don't have it up right now, but take my word for it. So that's for the yellow and white stripe there. We went with a single color navy, just as a good clean look. If on the back there is a navy number. There we go. That's why everyone was here.
Wait, turn
so
back around.
It's a nice clean look. We're going to be going with, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, navy shorts and white socks. So a nice traditional look. Then we go to on the road.
Wait, turn around.
We've got the steel, not gray, but steel uniforms. That way everyone's jealous when they see us coming to town. They're like, man, I really wish I could play for that team. Yes, and then we got Brandon in steel. It's actually steel with silver the stripes. Same with the single color navy crest, the navy number. Give the ladies a spin.
Give the ladies a spin, gentlemen.
The navy number on the back. Again, a nice clean look. That will have steel shorts and navy socks. So a nice kind of clean and uniform look for us. We're really excited about these. They turned out great. They're sublimated, so we don't have to worry about colors not matching and things like that. The crest is right there on the uniform. Feel free to take pictures with the guys on that. Next up is actually the schedule for 2014. I'm going to turn that over to BJ, our coach, to kind of run through that.
All right, thanks. Everybody coming out. A couple of things I want to do real quick. I want to address a couple of things about coaching that have been going on between the two groups before we came to our merger. One of my really good friends and one of my colleagues in coaching youth soccer, Tennessee soccer, Giles Cheevers, was going to be the coach of Atlas, was the original plan with their whole movement going forward. Giles unfortunately had prohibitive work schedule from his current employer that made it impossible for him to be able to commit to the kind of time that's required for this to be a really successful team. So Giles graciously has agreed to just help us as much as he can. We'll be very glad to have his help and his use of his experience whenever we can use it, but he's just not going to be able to be around as much as it's going to be necessary for that to be a really successful team this year. So in lieu of that, I'm just thrilled to be able to be the coach of this team for the first year. As mentioned earlier, I'm a longtime Nashville soccer person and happy to be able to take my game to a new level as well with some of these guys down here in jerseys and a lot more that we're in contact with. I think between Coach Packlad, who's our Director of Operations, and myself, we've got a group of about 115 players that we're working through at this point. We expect to see some new ones out soon. Also, we mentioned we got a chance to meet Coach Vecchio earlier, who's back here. Ladies, I'm sorry, but he's taken. He does have a great accent. You'd like, but he's not available. However, on the single coaching front, we've got Kyle.
Yeah! He's a nice guy!
Kyle is, I'm thrilled personally. Kyle and I had worked together for a long time. He played at Belmont during some of my first years there, and we worked together at Tennessee Soccer Club for a good bit of time. And last year we got a chance to go and take our USSF B licenses together and got to spend a whole week together, him listening to me snore. But I think if anything that bonded us as really closer friends, and I got a chance to really see Kyle grow a lot as a coach over the last couple of years. And I'm really, really proud to have him as my first assistant coach working with me to really help to grow this team to where we're trying to go. His youth and enthusiasm and his just pure quality as a coach is what's really going to help us move forward. So really happy to have Kyle here. Glad he could join us. So with that said, I want to point everybody back to the schedule over your shoulders. Start with 2 away games, which is going to be interesting for us. We don't have any returning players. We don't have any sort of things we have. We don't have no experience against these teams, but it's going to be an interesting ride for us. We start off with the Knoxville team. Obviously, everybody.
Boo, Knoxville!
Everybody who's from here has some feelings about Knoxville, not of which all are great. I wish there was a Memphis team because I think we all probably universally hate Memphis even more, but that'll be in the future, I hope. Then we come back the next weekend. We play Saturday, May 17th, and that's at the defending league champs for our division, the Chattanooga FC.
Fuck Chattanooga!
If your children are here, please feel free to plug their ears. It's going to be a great atmosphere. Those guys generally average between 2,500 and 3,000 fans a game. They have a great supporters section. I hope we can get some guys ready to go on the road and bang a few drums in Chattanooga. Finley Stadium's not a hospitable environment. We're going to look to take some points on the road there. And then we finish up that first 3-game road trip with a game at Georgia Revolution, who were actually
They're not that bad.
of their division last year. They played with the Florida teams last year, and they were champs as well. So 2 of the 3 first teams we played were champions of their division in the NPSL last year. The big date, want to make sure everybody gets a chance to circle, is that Saturday, May 24th date. That'll be the day that we get to make our home debut for all of our fans, and hope to have a real raucous atmosphere where we play the Atlanta Silverbacks. The Silverbacks are back into the league this year for the first time. They are an NASL team, which is the 2nd division of U.S. soccer, with their first team, and these are their reserves, so there'll be some very quality players there. Expect to have another real tough match there.
We'll kill them.
Exactly. And then our hype man is on board. Saturday, we come back the following Saturday. One of the things we're really excited about is a lot of one-game weekends where our kids can really focus, kids and young men can really focus on playing one good quality match and not have to play too many back-to-backs. So we'll be back on May 31st for home game against Huntsville. Nothing there? You don't hate Huntsville?
What? Right.
Okay, so Huntsville, we're okay. We're gonna be good with them, and then we get.
Fuck off back to the space camp. Fuck off back to the space camp.
And here's where we get a really difficult part of our schedule. On Saturday, June the 7th, we play away at New Orleans. We then come back home the following Tuesday. We come back home on Sunday, train on Monday. We'll be back down to Rocket City in Huntsville for a Tuesday match. Come back home, train on the 11th and 12th, and then we have back-to-back home games.
No! Chattanooga, no!
So Chattanooga and New Orleans will be in town for the 13th and 14th, and that's going to be a real test of our fan base right there. 2 games in the same weekend at home.
We will be there, BJ!
That's going to be tough. A lot of people are going to think we'll only get half the crowd for one game and half for the other. It's going to be a real challenge for us to give you a reason to come out both days, and we're excited to give you that opportunity.
Double.
Make you want to be there. We then finish up the homestand with the game on the 21st against Georgia Revolution. Go back on the road on a Friday to play against the Atlanta Silverbacks down in Atlanta, and then the other date I'd really hope you'll circle is July the 4th. So, happy birthday to our country, and a chance to play our last home game against the Knoxville Force, who we start the season with. So, I have a lot of things planned for a July 4th party where we get everybody out and really have a great time and celebrate what we hope will be a division-clinching win over Knoxville to make sure we're in the playoffs the next weekend, July 11th and 12th. So, with that, really excited that everybody's here. as I got involved with through Cameron and Justin and got brought in touch with Chris, we all kind of sat down and thought about, we all are mutually in agreement that the NPSL is the great first step and the step we've got to take to start to educate our ticket-buying soccer public here in Nashville about what the higher levels of the game are. But above and beyond that, we've also started to look at what's the next step down the road. And for us, we all, I think, are in agreement, and as we brought the Atlas guys with us into the fold, everybody's on board that our real goal for the short term is to become a member of the USL Pro. So USL Pro is a Division III professional soccer organization here in the United States. So we have MLS at Division I, we have NASL or Division II, and USL Pro or Division III. The really exciting things about USL Pro are they started this past year an agreement with MLS to loan players back and forth, so an opportunity to have MLS level talent coming down and playing in your city. It was nowhere more evident than in Orlando. Orlando City got a young man from Kansas City onto their roster. He scored a bundle of goals and helped them win the championship. So great example of how that's going to work, and that agreement has only been furthered this past year. At the end of the season, they made an agreement that by 2015, all MLS teams are required to have a USL Pro affiliate. Enough USL Pro teams to go around for MLS teams that we'll have at that point. So our goal is to see if we can go ahead and bring more sooner rather than later a USL Pro franchise to Nashville so we can have a professional level of players here for our young people to look up to and aspire to be like. Woo! Woo! Just a little bit, and I'll try to go quickly through this because the game's getting ready to start back, but there's a real niche here in the market that we can fill. There's not a USL Pro team within 300 miles of our city. The closest MLS team is in Columbus, Ohio.
Fuck Columbus!
And it's an opportunity for us to bring another level of soccer even above what we're going to start with this year. So it's just another part of our growing the game process here in our community. And then finally, here's a little dream that some of us have got. If you'll notice, that's Greer Stadium. And with a little bit of Photoshop help, we're all aware that Greer Stadium is going to be no longer in use by the Sounds after this season.
Sounds out, Nashville FC in!
So if we can get some of the constituents to agree with that, we've already had some meetings with the mayor's office. It's one of the things that's in conversations. By no means is it done, but there's a hope we've got for down the road. I also want to speak quickly to, we've mentioned that schedule and all those home games, and I know a lot of questions have to be, where are those home games going to be? So got approval yesterday to at least mention the name of the place we're working on. We by no means have a finalized agreement, but we've been working very hard with the folks at Vanderbilt University. We've had multiple discussions, and we're in the process of putting the final touches on a proposal that we think will benefit both Vanderbilt and their women's soccer and their lacrosse programs, but also their university as a whole, and also really benefit our organization. So it's not done. I know you're all anxious to have it done. We're anxious to have a home field that we can put to rest, but those efforts are continuing. We feel like hopefully by Valentine's Day we may be able to get an answer. That would be a great Valentine's Day present.
Because we love football.
Exactly.
There you go.
So, also, finally, I want to finish up with our tryout schedule. We've already had, before the groups merged, each group had an individual tryout. The next tryout is going to be, part of the tryout will be an emerging of the invited back players from that group. We'll be contacting them in the next couple of days, and we'll be on February the 8th. We'll be at Rose Park. We'll have a session from 3 to 5 p.m. and a session from 5 to 7 p.m. Those tryouts are currently, the registration page is currently up at Atlas website, at atlasfootballclub.com, and there'll be a link at nashvillefc.net for you to register for the tryouts. There is a tryout fee for those who haven't been before. For those who have been and are invited back, the tryout fee is waived. We'll have that tryout on February 8th, and then the weekends of March 1st and March 15th, we're going to have tryouts, set up those specific dates so that we can catch most of the college spring breaks, because a large portion of our team we think will be those young men who are still, furthering their careers and moving forward. A nice mix of adult players and some college players and possibly a couple of youth players sprinkled in will give us something we can all relate to, and also a real opportunity to have a very strong winning product on the field. So those will be the 3 dates for the upcoming tryouts, and after the March 15th, 16th weekend, it'll be up to myself and Coach Rolke and Coach Vecchio, as well as Andy and the operations staff, to make sure we've got the right kind of folks to put on the field. So starting in May, you can have a product you can be proud of. Woo!
Enjoy the second half, guys. Go USA.
Go USA, Justin!